It's another lady of the house kind of day, and today we are on day 30 of a dress a day in May. Welcome back, ladies. This week's theme has been all about becoming a lady, and today's subject is going to be our demeanor. But before we get into that, I wanted to share this beautiful dress with you that I now have 3 of, this whole style. I have it in a blue with that fun print that I shared with you, which this is that print. It's just in a yellow. And then I also have it in a red now. So this is made out of rayon, and let me check. Yes, 100% rayon. There's no polyester in this, but it's 100% rayon. And so when I have washed the other one, like that blue one that I had been wearing, when I put it on, it felt a lot more snug than it originally did. So this is the fit of it. I'm glad that I sized up or sized into, they only had that available, because I think if you get rayon, you probably should size up, just because when you do wash it, it shrinks a little. It almost holds its form a little better once you wash it. You will definitely need to put some kind of heat on it, I would say. My mother-in-law says that the rayon is wonderful because it does well in the dryer. I guess I'm not comfortable doing that and risking the dress getting really short or something, but I do iron this kind of rayon. Now there is another rayon that I tried ironing and it did not work out well. So now that's my painting dress, but I can put heat on this and it's not a problem. So I've said before in the past that yellow really isn't my color. I still feel that way. And if I were to choose a yellow, I would not think that this yellow looks great with my skin tone. But sometimes we just don't care, right? We just like it. It fits our color story, so we need to get it. No, I'm just kidding. But I was doing some kind of color story, and I went to Ross yesterday, and I was just hoping to find one because I already filmed today's video last week. However, the dress that I was filming in, which was a beautiful yellow dress, the fabric was just so pretty to me. However, it was just a little too snug. So I ended up giving that to my sister because my sister was in town, and it just happened to work out because she was going to be going to dinner and didn't want to wear the dress she brought. So it all worked out. Your demeanor is your outward behavior. It includes the way you stand, walk, talk, your facial expressions, and more. Someone with a friendly demeanor may smile often. They may look you in the eye when they're talking to you. So these are things that are definitely becoming a lady, but they are also just good manners in general, I would say. So considering your manners and just the way that you carry yourself really is something that would be so becoming of a lady, right? If you are looking at somebody when they're talking to you instead of looking down on your phone, that's a great way to start that, because I just have noticed just everywhere that so many are just constantly looking down. And so it's almost as if you are making yourself unapproachable. You make yourself more approachable when you do have a friendly disposition about you, when you have that friendly demeanor, when you're smiling, when you are looking at people when they're talking to you, or just even connecting in that way, even when you are walking in a grocery store, anything like that. Always look people in the eye and have it, even if it's just the most subtle smile about you. Now let's talk about sitting. There is definitely a ladylike way to sit, right? And I think we can all have in our mind a picture of what somebody would look like if they're not being very ladylike, and especially if they're wearing a dress. So these are important things to teach our young girls as well. And one of the things that I really liked to use in teaching my girls were a pair of white shorts. And just sitting in front of the mirror and allowing them to see what other people see. And this works for everyone. So if you are new to wearing dresses, or you just want to see how you should be sitting when you're wearing a dress, a really great test of this is to wear shorts to the point that you wouldn't want anybody to see that area. White shorts, maybe something bright, I don't know. And then you sit in front of a mirror and you do all the different positions. You even practice uncrossing your legs if you like to cross your legs. Although a really great thing to do is just cross your ankles, and then it's not as hard on your legs. You don't cut off circulation, all the great, wonderful things about not crossing our legs. But if you do cross your legs, then practice uncrossing them in front of the mirror and maybe switching over to the next leg. And then also when you are getting up or sitting down, and just seeing how much is really visible, especially for those that are right in front of you. This is something that I don't think is often really thought of. You're just looking down from your perspective and you want to cover a certain amount of your legs, but really what people are seeing on the other side would probably surprise you. So I would really highly suggest sitting in front of a mirror when you are just by yourself and looking at maybe what everything looks like when you are wearing a dress and the way that you sit. And so anyway, that is a really great tool to use when you are trying to teach your daughters as well. This also goes into getting in and out of a car. So in the past, I did share what's becoming a lady when it comes to sitting in the car. And I have to admit, I'm not perfect about doing this either. But it is something that I really do try to keep at the forefront of my mind when I am getting in the car, is just sitting down first and then swiveling my legs inside the car. And the same getting out, instead of stepping in with one leg or stepping out with one leg, but more or less swiveling. Now, I know with all cars that's not a possibility. If you have a big truck, you would definitely have to, step into it pretty much. But this is just especially when you're getting in a car, because you can expose more than you really want to. Now let's discuss good posture. It's always great to work on our posture, and I feel like this is always a work in progress. And you're speaking to a ballet instructor here. I've struggled with this over the years in my life, even looking back at pictures of myself, just the poor posture that I had. And I felt like it didn't matter how much I thought about it, it was something that I still struggled with. But I really do try to keep that in mind today, as well as even when I am working at my computer. Sometimes I just really catch myself falling into bad habits, hunching over my computer. And that affects everything. That affects your neck, it affects your arms, your back. So trying to practice good posture on a continual basis will really strengthen your core muscles, but it will just make you look so much better. It improves your overall appearance 100 times over, really. And if you've ever looked at before and after pictures of those that had poor posture and then when they worked on it and had wonderful posture, you will see what I'm talking about. Now, if you are ever feeling annoyed, just know that that is likely very visible to other people through your demeanor. So if you do not want to come across as being upset, annoyed, whatever other emotions you are feeling, because maybe it's not appropriate to be expressing those to all of the people around you, or you just don't want to come across as this really upset, angry kind of person, then really focus on your overall demeanor, the way you're looking, the way that, and I mean by the way that you are looking at other people, what your facial expressions are saying, as well as just your overall body language and what you're communicating to other people. So sometimes if we are trying to fight against maybe how we're truly feeling inside, but we don't want to showcase that to the world, we have to go the extra mile to show something different on the outside and then deal with those negative emotions later. But oftentimes when we can counteract those negative emotions that we're feeling simply by focusing on our outward demeanor. Now, one more thing that I wanted to share with you about demeanor was just the way that I have to look because I forgot, your gestures, your hand gestures, just the way that you are expressing yourself, okay? So for a lady, it's going to be a lot more fluid. It's going to be a lot more soft and subtle. Of course, everybody has different personalities, but one of the things that you want to stay away from are those really aggressive kind of moves. So all of these things are just little things to consider. I hope that this video was inspiring for you in some ways. I would love to know what you have to add to this conversation. And with that, I'm going to leave you here. Tomorrow is our last day in which I am going to share all of the pictures that have been sent to me that I've been able to find, because now I am being told that my email wasn't working. So I now have a new email for all of you to email me to. So if you have already heard from me, don't worry about that. But if you haven't heard from me, you might want to send it to my new email address, which is inspiredbynikkiyt@gmail.com. So I think that that's more fitting anyway for this channel. I have it linked in my description box. I also have it in the About section now. And that is all I have to share with you today. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video.